Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co host, Brian.
All right, buddy.
And joined as we are every week, the host of the Strat Chat podcast, our friend Kyle Petty.
Hi, hello, and good day.
As you guys can see in the description, the thumbnail, we're back to talk one of our favorites. This is The Amazing Race. This is The Amazing Race 35, episode 10. Everybody loves a comeback story. Yeah, we definitely saw a comeback story. I think we saw some change of places. We had was one of my favorite things in any episode of The Amazing Race, a good old fashioned foot race, and we definitely got a good old fashioned foot race at the end of this episode, which I really appreciated. Some standard tropes too, like people running past positions or tickets, kind of double taking, and people actually now really starting to kind of play the game and not always sharing. Our location was an awesome location this week. We were in Stockholm, Sweden, the archipelago of the North. Made sure that I looked up my geography terms, a group of islands. Some call it the Venice of the North. And to no big surprise, guys, they started all on one flight together. The Great Equalizer again, which is season 35 of the race. So before I dive into the rest of the details, guys, just overall thoughts on this week. Kyle, I'll start with you, and then Brian, let me know what you thought.
Yeah, fun episode. I just can't believe we're already getting to the end of this. I feel like kind of like crept up on us, you know?
Yeah, I like that the teams are very close to each other. It kind of creates a little more drama. And like you said, Bill, like foot race. Annalie was like a jockey to her dad, just whipping him and yelling at him. So not bad for that guy. I'm worried he's gonna die. I'm worried he's gonna die.
Well, lucky for him, there's two legs left, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah. And what was the other thing I would say? I mean, my boys, Joel and Garrett, man. Let's get it.
yeah, they pulled a nice kind of third turn in the race. Like, if you were talking about like a lapse in a race there, like cut the corner, man. And really, I mean, nice. I said we can bring that up. I mean, them getting a win, denying the brothers a tie for the all-time 5-time in a row win. They were pretty close behind too, obviously. So can't really hurt them for their effort this week, but really cool for them. They're gonna get to go to the Galapagos Islands. I think it's honestly that's a cool trip. It's
I
something
would
you
go there.
probably like
That's
not
awesome.
pay to go to yourself. It's probably expensive as hell.
Probably super expensive because I imagine like flights don't go there a lot. You all right?
The ghost of the
Drop my
Galapagos.
phone. Whenever I think about the Galapagos Islands, though, I actually think of Schitt's Creek.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not
Yeah,
the
and
ghost
how
in your house?
Alexis wanted nothing to do with it, even though like she acted like she did. Yeah,
Oh, because
what
that's
I
her
think
like
of.
her husband or boyfriend is like going is he's a vet, right?
Yeah, he's a
Right.
vet.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ted got this like once in a lifetime opportunity to go to
I
the
remember that.
Galapagos
I remember
Islands, do
that.
some research or something.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that.
I'm pretty sure too. Galapagos Islands would also be an archipelago. Like that would be a group of islands.
Archipelago.
All right, whatever. Okay, we're gonna do this now, guys. All right, the comments. I get this all the time. I mispronounce stuff sometimes.
I'm so glad that made it. I'm so glad
These
that made it
people, you don't even know how many reviews of other shows I've already done today and gonna
in.
do after. Hey, get out of here. All
It
right.
also reminds me of Rocco's Modern Life. Do you remember Filbert?
Oh yeah,
Wasn't he
yeah,
from the Galapagos Islands?
yeah. He was a turtle.
That's Turtle Man, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fish sticks.
Oh, fish sticks. Like Galapagos is like is it like off
Yeah.
Ecuador, something like that. I'm sure they've probably been to Ecuador.
Yeah, somewhere off South America.
I
To
think
the
that
left.
Ecuador. I don't know. I
To
forget
the
what number
left,
that
to the
was.
left.
Logan's definitely been there. I forget what number that was on
Someplace where
the
the
Great Atlas
frogs are
list here, but
plentiful.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
we'll
has he
find
actually
out.
been there?
He is a lot of countries.
I know he has, but that's like
he
that's a
hasn't been to. So I mean, like it's probably on the list. I got to go back and look. He has
hey,
been.
no. Let us know in the comments.
Well, he's gonna probably let us know in the blog. Well, he definitely will let us know in
2 weeks
the comments.
later.
It's gonna be at like 2 in the morning. He knows this. It's right. It's we know the cadence now. All right. So I gotta go back now to my notes so I make sure I'm okay. So what I did want to bring up though, right off the top, was the well-dressed cab drivers. Really, really love are all the cab drivers in Sweden wearing bow ties and like tuxedo vests because I'm totally in. I haven't been to Sweden, but my wife's already talked about wanting to go there. But if I'm gonna get some tuxedo taxi drivers everywhere, I'm in.
Yeah, like if that's regular Uber, what is Uber Black?
Oh my god, they might just like royal like garb, like
Royal Garb. You get like a
Cetos.
3-course meal on the inside.
Yeah.
Steven Anna, like we talk about Annalise, so like making sure Steve's on a sprinter's pace. Make sure she pre-paced in the cab. You know, save him 20 seconds. God forbid he can stretch.
God, man. Guy's like sucking wind. He's got like, and she's like tying a carrot over his head, like to run after it. It's just like, jeez. I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah, it's kind of painful to watch.
Yeah,
honestly,
she's like screaming at him.
Like, let up.
I don't know why it really didn't bother me. I was kind of for it, you know.
I
like,
just was worried he's gonna pass out. That's what I was worried. I'm waiting for that moment.
Wasn't there some point that he even made a comment about it? He was like, "Oh, I'm tired," or he's like, "Leave me alone." Like there was something. I just remember him holding his backpack.
He may have said, "I'm gonna die,"
and you still laughed. You didn't feel bad for him at all. That's
no. It's not that I didn't feel bad for him.
Savage.
I don't know. I just feel like it's pretty relative. You know, daughter yelling at her dad, like it's pretty standard.
Especially for them.
I hope my daughters never yell at me like that because they're gonna.
Well, it's gonna be 2-on-1 too. So
yeah.
We did have. Speaking of dads, Joel and Garrett did make that bad Scandinavian joke. The barcode on the front of everything or front of the cars, so they get Scandinavian.
I must have missed that.
Wow, you're me and
I always miss one thing a week. I always miss one thing.
There's Brian's one thing a week.
Spinning arm man and
Brian's over the head moment.
I'm always like very comforted though by the fact that whatever I miss is usually when Brian misses also.
I just will say it out loud.
Nothing on these bullet points are made up. I'll tell you right now, nothing on these bullet points are made up. Okay, so this is what I talked about when they get to the location where John and Greg arrive first, but they run past the tags. We've seen this happen a couple times now this season. Everyone just, I understand the sprint method there, and knowing that it was going to be skydiving because they Googled it and talked about it on the flight with everyone. It didn't seem to be too costly of a mistake because they were all again on the same plane. I didn't think they were going to charter 5 planes, so that makes a lot of sense. But it seemed at the end all time kind of counted. But I would like to know for this leg specifically, and I know that in the racers blogs and videos they cover this a lot. Was everything in like very close proximity? Because the way everyone was able to actually pass each other and bunch up like they were, even though they were all kind of spread out by positionings and stuff like that and doing different challenges, I'm very curious if they were in a very tight geographical, kind of region.
Very, very possible. Did they sleep at that airport? Did you catch that? It's like it opened at 5 a.m.
6:45, I think it said, like at night.
Yeah, like so. What were they? Where did they sleep? Show us.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably like a hotel.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
That is interesting.
I just missed the days they had to sleep outside. Like, remember when they get the first season, the Ferris wheel, they slept out by the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the guys were sleeping out in the door outside of the travel agent, waiting for it to open in the morning or for like a challenge.
Even if you just faked it to like say like we slept here and you didn't. I would accept that.
It's like, will they not let them sleep, do what they used to do? I'm sure there's just like, again, everything is like kind of more safety conscious, but like you're not going to let people sleep.
Yeah, I know, but man, that was the good life.
The good life.
The good life.
Let's see. Good life. The life I live.
Sleeping outside, waiting for a Ferris wheel to open.
The route info was Teningo. It was a small island. You had to take a speedboat to the island. I didn't even mention this. This could be a later Mario Party reference I'll bring up as an honorable mention with the speedboat. Okay. This part freaked me out. You get to the midsummer challenge here at the route info. I'd be like, no. Not here to get eaten. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hate that movie, by the way. The movie is just so long and boring.
Which movie?
Midsummer. The A20 Midsummer.
Okay.
Is this Brian over Brian's head number 2?
It's one of those A24 movies. I actually looked it up while I was watching this. Like, you know what? I wouldn't mind revisiting that one.
Is it about cannibals?
It's like this, like
or
the
cults?
exact festival and stuff, because it's like a real thing, obviously, and then it just turns like culty and
Very, very
bloody,
culty.
and
Yeah.
it's just like one of those ones that's like a little artsy just to be artsy.
Gotcha.
And I
Wait,
love most A24 movies. I think it might be like the only one. I don't think it's a bad movie objectively. I just don't like love it myself. That's all. I'm not saying I'm the be
so I
all.
hadn't seen that movie, and I was getting the same vibe as you. Like, who's dying?
It just takes a long ass time for them to get to the killing. You
Gotta
feel
butter
the
you up, man.
freakiness right away,
Right.
but like,
It's still creepy. I mean, it's still a good time. It definitely isn't one of A24's shining stars, but it's still a good watch.
listen, if you love
You
it,
can
Kyle, you could love it.
I'm just
Don't
saying,
get it.
well, no, love is still too strong of a word. Like, I like to stay strong on my principles, but I'm not going to defend this one like too hard.
This is not
Like,
this is not your hill.
no, it's not. Absolutely not. But I will say that I did add it back onto my watch list once I realized it was available to all Prime Video subscribers if you're already a subscriber. So, give it a gander. Check it out.
We're practicing for when we actually get ads, and they actually get people to
right. Like, no, I mean, I'll definitely be rewatching it tonight. I might fall asleep before the end of it, but I'll be checking the back out.
That's pleasant.
Yeah,
so this one, the roadblock was there. It was Who Wants to Party. You have to complete the flower wreath, attach it to the maypole, and then you had to do the cult ritual dance around there. And they probably sold their souls and they don't even realize what they did.
Wow.
Thanks a lot. Ashley does. I noted that Ashley did this one really well. She was like really like in and out. She was very good at the craft scenes of it. I would have not volunteered for this one. I am just not good with like the arts and crafts of it. What did you guys just think? How would you have fared, or just thoughts on it in general?
Yeah, I mean, I hate flowers to begin with, so I would have overlooked a lot of things for sure. They're like, make it look cute or pretty. I've been like, no.
How?
I will have to be the one dissenter. I definitely would have volunteered for this one. This is totally up my alley. Actually intrigued me so much. I was like, you know what? Now that I have this house, maybe I'll have a midsummer party as well, and I'll make people come over and
make some rings
and make some flower wreaths. Looking for flower rings. Yeah. Sorry. I was really, really intrigued by this one. This is a good time to me.
Yeah, so I mean, other people were kind of more up me and Brian's alley. Like they were missing things like the flower details and certain things like that.
I would crust this one. I would crust it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been obvious that you had to try to match it literally as literal as possible. And I just think that people kind of try to make the quick move and get out. It doesn't seem like it pays off a lot on these judges. It's very subjective. This is where Rob and Corey throw the express pass. I think this was like a fair move, right? I don't think either one of them probably would have fared very well with one like this. So I thought it was a smart move. But this comes into my question about kind of just how the rest of the leg plays out. Like how far like ahead geographically did they really get from everyone, right? To go to that music hall next, right?
That's right. That's true.
So
across the lake.
It was like across the river and they ran off at the street, right? So again, there's nothing wrong with it. Stockholm's cool. Again, I think it's a great location. Like I said, we're going to mention the next spot, which is the music hall cathedral. Like that's the stuff we always call for, right? Like culture, you're actually seeing what the like walk of life, different kind of things in that city is. So I think they covered it well. I'm sure they've been to Sweden before. It's it's a pretty well-known country, pretty good tourist country. I don't know if they've been to Stockholm before, but again, in the comments, I'm sure we will find out. Rob and Corey do get to the route info first. It is the Royal Dramatic Theater, over 200 years old. Find the violinist, find the music, and you get to her and you'll get your next clue. Another example of someone getting there first, but missing the entrance. So Rob and Corey get there first. They run around the lobby. They leave and try to like find another entrance. I thought that frankly was kind of a little short-sighted. I'm like, guys, they're not going to put you in like some side entrance too in this like old cathedral. It is a very curated sort of path probably. And we obviously saw when the second team got there, which I think was Ashley, right?
Stephen and Annalie.
Yeah, Stephen and Annalie got there and they were like, boom. Yeah, that's what I more meant. Yeah, the whipping crew. They got there. And she had the common sense to be like, no, like it's got to be like a way, and boom, they found their way into the auditorium. So, overall, what did you guys think? Is there like anything of note extra on there?
I don't think so.
Oh, thank goodness! I was like, no, definitely not. Like,
the main thing was to go to the Solna Centrum station, which was a like subway station that's also like an art gallery. So again, I thought that was pretty cool. This led to a detour. Uh, there's two detours here. You could either sort a family's trash, 15 different stations, electronics, furniture, whatever, plastics, blah, 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 blah. Or you could do serve, which was to serve a 4-course meal that was in French, and you had the three courses, 4 settings, memorize dishes. Your partner has to be a food runner. I mean, this was an obvious choice, right? I'm not crazy to think the sort was way easier than doing the restaurant.
Yeah, I was 100% on sword. Hit us, Kyle. Come on.
I don't know. I
You know
mean, like
French?
I think that approaching this, I would have chosen sword, but looking at serve and now knowing that, like, you know what, the way that this kind of went, because you've got these tags in front of the dishes, and you got the tags obviously on the menu itself. If you only remembered like a couple of key words, you kind of could have figured this out. I definitely think it worked in their favor. What was it? What is their name? Greg and
Greg and
John.
John.
Greg and John. Yeah, like it definitely worked that they kind of had some working knowledge of French. But I do think that even if you didn't, you kind of could have muddled your way through this a little bit. Um, Again, just by remembering some key words, and it's not like you couldn't go back. Like the
Yeah.
runner was able to
Yeah.
still go back and like recheck things. So I don't know. Like
First word, last word was a good strategy. I think
Mhm.
you could kind of utilize that at the end of the day if you couldn't, if you couldn't really like memorize the French. But I think it was more so just even the process of doing it, having to go out and serve the people, go back. There's just like a lot of time I think burned doing that. And when you were doing the recycling, they had all the people who were actually working there. They weren't going to let you throw a chair into like the wrong area, right? They would
Mhm.
stop you. So at
It,
worst, you can sprint 15 stations, but it was common sense, right? Like, oh, I have a TV. There's a TV set over there, right? I have a
It's a
table.
fair
I
point.
see furniture over there. So that, more so just think it was faster. And we only saw the brothers do it, right?
Right.
yeah, they're the only ones that did it.
Yeah. I mean, they
Mhm.
did well. I thought they did well overall. I mean, obviously, it didn't hurt their standing too much. I think if they had done the sorting, I think they would have come in first, though, in the leg, frankly.
Probably.
Mhm.
I just wanted to see them make a mistake because I want to know what happens. Like, did the person like have to fake eat the dinner and be like, "Oh, yuck, this is not what I ordered,"
Yuck.
or like, what
Yuck,
would
and
have
they hit the
happened
dunk,
here?
dunk, 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 dunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Safra blue.
We do have a Mario Party reference here. Or do we sort of do them all at the end, say in the group, or do we go back? Because we did skip one before. So
Just knock them all out right now. I'll
all
just
right.
pop them
So
all
here's
in.
your section for Mario Party references of the day.
Do, do, do,
Two
do,
right
do.
here. Dash and Dine for the food. Dash and Dine was going where you had to get ingredients and you had to bring it back up to your section. This one fit perfectly. Trash landing was on the DS. You land on different piles of trash. I mean, Kyle threw that one out. That one makes a lot of sense to me. We had the skydiving. We had 2. There was a parachuting gallery on the DS, and then there was one paratroopa plunge. So a bunch of different ones here. So we really do appreciate Stockholm. Those were 4 easy ones. I even mentioned the boat one. That's where like the boat's driving. One person could get the coins, and the other 3 are being drugged behind them, and they get the scraps. Like that's a
Mhm.
good one too. And I always think of the speedboats. That's what I think of a Mario Party. So a couple of good references there. We move on. One thing to note, they did do the dinner for Alfred Nobel, the Nobel Peace Prize. Those people obviously were not real laureates or anything like that. They also, the interesting fact of 99% of all materials produced out of Sweden are from recycled materials. So it's pretty cool.
Salute to them.
No way America's even close to that.
Hell no, dude. We're like dirty as hell. I
Yeah.
respect the recycle game. I would have done it just strictly on that.
Yeah.
It was fun, dude.
We have so
I
many
wish I can
chemicals.
control that masher that was breaking that wood. That looked like really
Yo,
fun.
dude. Yeah, that was sick.
I would, yeah, and they're like, "Oh, shove the textiles in here." Gladly would have shoved that shit right in there
Nice
so quick
bags, uniform. Felt like it was like it's a big IKEA. Everything's like
that you
IKEA.
can destroy.
Okay, so let's see where else we go. Everyone, like I said, everyone else picks the sort. Okay, route info was for the Pampas Marina. You had to find the Alba 2 boat. So shout out to Jessica Alba. But there wasn't anything to do with the boat other than literally just pick up the next clue. This was to bring you to the pit stop, was the Strom Parterren. This was cool. They said this was like an underground town. It was like an old like 16th century town that they found when they were building a parking lot. So I guess it's like a museum of some sort now. So the clue was, the pit stop is right out front of there. Uh, this is where we see like a Joel and Garrett move. They do well with the sorting. They catch the subway just one round ahead of everybody else. No one really has difficulties really with the sorting. It's just a quick kind of time thing. So everyone gets within, it seems like, 2 intervals of a subway run, at least how they showed in the editing. So they caught the first round of subway and everybody else was on the second train, literally the same subway, but like it looked like the next car. Because it seems like they only beat the brothers who did a sprint by probably a few minutes. So very, very tight for everybody. Even the last place team, Todd and Ashley, didn't seem like they were too far behind everybody else. Maybe like a few train rounds behind everyone else, or I don't know. Did you guys think they were far behind?
I thought they saw each other.
Yeah,
I thought they saw Stephen and Lee. That's why she was like upped her whipping on her dad to run faster. So I thought they were actually all pretty close. But I could be totally wrong. And then like again, like they could have also made them stay there for optics. I don't know.
It's true.
Just watching the show.
Just watching the show. Brian, as we do every week, give everybody the order of finish, and then we will close out.
All right, first place, Joel and Garrett. Second place, Greg and John. Third place, Rob and Corey. Fourth place, Steve and Anna Lee. And fifth place, Todd and Ashley. So
high school sweethearts are eliminated. We have gotten to our final 4. Guys, any closing thoughts on the episode on our way out?
Is next week the finale or is it 2 weeks?
I forget.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I think it's Ireland next week and then the United States to end it.
Okay, all right, because it's December 13th is the finale. So yeah, 2 weeks.
So two more legs.
Right in the middle of reindeer games.
We don't even. So hey, Kyle, what's the Strat Chat podcast covering these days?
Strat Chat is doing Challenge 39. That's on Thursdays. Big Brother Australia also on Thursdays, right after we do the challenge, and we're doing Survivor on Mondays. That's all we got. Starting to slow down.
Talk about your reindeer.
Well, until Big Brother Reindeer game starts, of course, that'll be December 11th. Of course, we're there. We don't even know what it is yet. We just know that 9 people will be competing for $100,000 and Santa's blessing.
Oh, God, need that.
Exactly. Let's not forget Santa's blessing.
Is that a daily show?
It's going to be on like 3 times a week.
Dang. So you step up the game? You're going to be on daily?
Yeah, but it's literally only for 2 weeks, though. It's over by, I think the last one is over like on the 21st or something, I think is the finale. So it truly is like just 2 weeks over before Christmas.
You guys need to wear Santa hats.
Reindeer ears.
Yeah.
I'll order them tonight.
Yeah. And somebody needs to have like coal. Like you need to have like coal. Whoever loses that week, they need to have like a bag of coal. Like loser of the week or loser of the episode. When you do your draft,
drag on the way out.
Okay. So for myself, Brian, Kyle, everybody at the reality guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next review, peace.